Picture this, the misty hills of Scotland, right? Where secrets just feel like they're hanging in the air. Well, that's where our legend was born. It's a story that stretches across centuries, and it all comes down to one brutal, unshakable rule. So today, we're going to pull that legend apart and see what's really at the heart of it all.
Yeah, that one phrase. It's everything. Seriously, it's not just some cool movie tagline. It's a law of nature in this world. It's a prophecy. And, for the people caught up in it, it's pretty much a death sentence. This is the core of a secret war that's been raging for ages. And it makes you ask a really big question. What does it actually cost to win it all? So, every legend has to start somewhere. And this one? It kicks off with a fated warrior and a pretty violent transformation that throws him onto a path of, well, infinite life, but also inescapable conflict. So let's meet our guy. His name is Connor MacLeod from the clan MacLeod. We start way back in the 16th century, and he's just a clansman, expecting a life of honor, a bit of battle, the usual. But fate had something way stranger, way bigger, and honestly, way more tragic planned for him. So what happens to him? Well, he finds out he's an immortal. And what does that even mean? In the words of the story, death could not tame him. See, he takes what should be a fatal wound on the battlefield, but he just doesn't die. He's reborn, completely healed, and just like that, he's different from everyone and everything he's ever known. Disease, old age, nope, can't touch him anymore. He's a child of fate, a warrior who's now destined to walk the earth for centuries. But here's the thing. This amazing gift of eternal life, it comes with an immediate and just terrible curse. Because immortality means isolation. That's a core rule of his new existence. While he lives on, completely unchanged, every single person he knows and loves will just fade away. And that's not some unfortunate side effect, okay? It's a central part of his destiny, a constant, echoing loss. And as if that profound loneliness wasn't bad enough, it gets worse. There's a constant looming threat. See, being an immortal isn't about peacefully sitting back and watching the world turn. No, it's basically an invitation to join this ancient, deadly conflict that they just call the game. So yeah, quiet moments are going to be few and far between. So, what are the rules of this game? Well, they're simple, and they're savage. Immortals are drawn to each other, they're literally compelled to fight to the death. All for this mysterious ultimate prize. It's basically a tournament of survival that lasts for centuries, and the only way to win is to be the last one standing. There are no real allies when it comes down to it, because, well, you know the rule, there can be only one. So for our guy, Connor MacLeod, this immortal life is a journey straight through the shadows of history. I mean, he goes from his home with the ancient clans to being a wanderer across Europe, forced to reinvent himself over and over again. And eventually, he ends up hiding in plain sight on the streets of modern New York, but always looking over his shoulder. And there's one shadow that looms larger than all the others, the Kurgan. This guy, he's the ultimate villain of the story. A brutal, nihilistic immortal, and his chilling laugh is something that literally haunts MacLeod's dreams for centuries. The Kurgan is the living, breathing embodiment of the savage hunt that's defined MacLeod's entire long life. So you have to wonder, right? Living forever, fighting forever, what's the real human cost of all that? I mean, this isn't just about sword fights. It's about the war you fight inside your own head. That's the quiet, devastating core of the immortal's burden. And this is where the true personal tragedy really hits home. Every single connection he makes is temporary. Every friend, every lover, they're all destined to grow old and die while he just stays the same. Just think about that for a second. The deep, repeating sorrow of outliving everyone you've ever cared about over and over and over again for hundreds of years. So really, it all boils down to this stark contrast, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the promise of the prize. We're talking ultimate power, the strength of ages, this cosmic energy they call the quickening. And we'll get more into that in a bit. But on the other side, the cost is just immense. A past that is literally hunting you, a heart you have to harden to stone just to survive, and a destiny of being completely and utterly alone. And that brings us right back to the central question of this whole story. I mean, after all the fighting, all the loss, all those centuries spent wandering alone, what is this prize? What could possibly be worth all of that suffering? What could justify a life that's just been defined by nonstop conflict and grief?
Well, that brings us to the endgame. This is the culmination of centuries of conflict. The final battle is about to be fought, and the true nature of the prize is finally going to be revealed. Okay, so the endgame kicks off with this thing called the quickening. Think of it like a final, irresistible call that pulls all the remaining immortals to one place for the last showdown. And as they fight, this incredible power is just unleashed. And when only one victor is left standing, they don't just want a title. No, they absorb the collective power and knowledge of every single immortal who has ever lived. And in a flash, it's over. Just like that, after hundreds of years of struggle, the entire war, all the lives, the losses, the memories, it all boils down to one final decisive moment, a single sword fight to decide the fate of the world and the destiny of the winner. And against all the odds, our hero from the Scottish Highlands, he survives. He endures all the loss, he faces down his greatest enemy, and in the end, Connor MacLeod is the one left standing. He's won the game. He has claimed the prize. So he's done it. He's won everything they were fighting for. He's now the most powerful being on the planet, holding all the knowledge of the ages. But he's also, without a doubt, the last of his kind. And that leaves us with the ultimate question, doesn't it? Was the prize of all that power really worth the final, absolute cost of being truly and forever the only one?